morning, Vero Beach. My name is Scott Reynolds. I'm the team leader of the Reynolds team here at Sotheby's International. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about pricing strategy. That's the subject for today. In other videos, we talked about extensively on marketing, on video marketing, and on photography. Today, we want to talk about the pricing strategy. Our team has developed 3 different pricing strategies that we offer to our clients to empower them to choose which one's best for their scenario. And I'll just go ahead and start off with the first strategy is the client wants to get the highest possible price possible, sometimes referred to as the needle in the haystack pricing. They're totally comfortable if the house doesn't sell or does sell, but they're just trying to set new records and really chasing a certain price. I say that in acknowledgement that it is a strategy, and as long as they're aware of the challenges, they're not going to get a lot of showings and may or may not sell, but according to the strategy, they're okay with that. The second strategy is more like I would want to term it as fair market pricing. So together, we get together and look really closely at the sold comparable sales that are like close to your home, like kind type homes, somewhere around the same age and amenity and offering, and looking at what the actual sales price is and trying to set, well, then we also look at the homes that are under contract and active. And what we try on the fair market value is to look at the actual sales price and not focus on the list price, and price the home really close to the sales price, cutting out that margin of price reductions. So it really creates a little more excitement from the buyer community and makes the contracts come in cleaner with less contingencies, and because it gets competitive with that strategy. The third strategy is what I like it's some of my most savviest sellers will do is we'll look at the same information as the second strategy at the solds, but we'll identify what the sales price should be and price it slightly below that sales price. And what that does, so once we establish that price, we do all the normal marketing, and especially on this one, do some pre-marketing and unveil the property. And what it creates is a little bit of like an auction scenario, a feeding frenzy, a bidding war, and it can actually get the sales price to above the second strategy. And sometimes if it's the certain properties, it can even reach the needle in the haystack pricing because it draws so much interest. So we like to identify all 3 different strategies because everyone's going to feel comfortable with one of them over the other 2. The other point on all 3 strategies, well, specifically the second and third strategy, the fair market value strategy and the slightly below market value strategy, is to pay special attention to the under contract homes because they just went under contract, and also the active homes. But the under contract homes, look at their history and how many price adjustments they made, and then the last listing price of when they got the contract. Meaning, I'll just make up a scenario. So if one is under contract at $335 and it was last listed at $335, but it started off at $375 and maybe went through 2 price adjustments, what would it have been like if they would have just came out at $335 and kind of shocked the market and skipped those 2 price changes and cost that amount of time, and could have got a better price and at least saved the time. So that's why we look at the under contracts pretty hard, and even the actives, because these guys are already on the market doing what we're about to do. So maybe we can learn from their mistakes or the adjustments they've already made and include them into our launching of the property and get out of the gate correctly the first time. So I wanted to talk about a couple case studies that we have, or some recent examples. I had a client that wanted to, we started off the pricing at $339 for their home, and then we made a couple price adjustments and got it to the price that we had also discussed in the beginning at $309. And it was very, very interesting. Once it got to $309, and we had 6 showings over the weekend, and the sales price ended up being $306. And then we got a backup offer because they were disappointed that they missed out on it. We got a backup offer up to $315, which is a perfect example of what I was talking about. So that was just a recent real life case study. We also had another home that we had on the market. We launched it with one day. The seller prepped the house, wanted to sell, didn't want to go through the 90 days, 120 days of market time, and we had it sold in one day at like full asking price. Most of the time, you're going to get to the sales price one way or another. It's just, what does the journey look like? And sometimes you can actually get less than the planned sales price if the journey is too long, because people start wondering what's wrong with the house, how come no one else has bought it, what does the market know that I don't know. So there's a lot of reasons of why to really spend some time on the comps, looking at the whole market, coming up with a strategy that's best fit for you. So I just wanted to identify the 3 strategies that we share with our clients, and just kind of quick recap: the needle in the haystack pricing, the fair market value pricing, and then the third pricing, which is the bidding war, feeding frenzy type strategy. And every strategy is going to be different for each client. So if you're trying to figure that out and you would like to get some advice, please contact me at all the information below. My name is Scott Reynolds, and our email, our Facebook, our YouTube page, everything is below to contact us. Thank you so much. Have a good day.